All right, guys, we're about to go live with the Sosana update call for tonight. The link to join is in the comments section, guys. If you see something you like, you want to join, I suggest that you click that link and just watch the video. It's a 10-minute video, the first video. Explains the utility. I don't want you to miss it, man. So watch that video and then make an informed decision. That's my advice to you guys, man. And we'll be starting here. They're usually right on time, so they should be here in about a minute. Yeah, this is exciting, guys. We're getting there, man. About 2 more weeks, I figure. We'll be rolling strong, man. Once this thing starts rolling, man, it's like a snowball going downhill. It's gonna get to a size. There's gonna be no stopping it. It's gonna go viral. All right, guys, they're here. I'll see you guys tomorrow in the trading floor, man.
Welcome. Ryan Loss here. Excited to see you guys actually chiming in. We'll get started. Oh, well, my camera's off. We'll get started here in a couple of minutes, guys. But as always, you know the drill. Pop in and let us know. I see you guys are already on it. So pop in and let us know. For those of you who don't know our ritual, if you're in the Telegram group, as you're joining in, just pop into the Telegram group. Let us know where you're calling in from. And we appreciate that. I see already we got Houston, New Zealand. Mexico, Orlando, Ontario, Brazil. Welcome to the call, guys. West Texas here. We see Chicago here. So we got, listen, as always, excited to see people chiming in. We're going to have a good call tonight. Got something cool to share with you guys. So that's going to be fun. And we are looking forward to ultimately setting you guys up so that we can actually, again, keep it moving, man. Always looking to do what we can do that's best for the community. So Ireland, Tampa, Florida. I'm actually going to be in Florida next week, down in Siesta Key for a week. My wife and I are going to go down there. So you guys got much better weather down there than we're having up here in Philadelphia right now. So I'm looking forward to that. Michigan, Lancaster, Tampa in the house, Iowa, Tasmania. Guys, I gotta say, I think I haven't seen Tasmania. So Tasmania, welcome. Texas again. So this is gonna be fun, guys. Again, we'll get started here. Let's give it 60 seconds, and then we are going to get started. In fact, while we're doing that, I'm gonna share my screen here. And once you guys can see my screen, somebody just go into the Telegram group and let me know that you guys can see the screen. So I know I'm not referencing stuff that you can't even see. So we are going to can see. Perfect. So we're going to talk about the game. Sosana, the game. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that, guys. So let me kind of get all the pictures out of the way because I can't even see my own screen. And I think we have given enough time that we can get started. So guys, so listen, for those of you who know me, and especially for those of you who knew me prior to Sosana, one thing people do know about me is I am extremely competitive. Like just seriously competitive. And my whole family is like, but I'm like the type of person who, if you want to play a game with me, it doesn't matter. It could be Monopoly, it could be checkers, it could be chess, it could be whatever. Or if you want to play a game with me, I'm so competitive that you probably want to show up with bodyguards and a gun. I mean, I'm that guy, right? And I love playing with other competitive people. But I and it's like my family, we get together, we have this family game night thing that we do maybe once a month or so. And it's wild. I mean, the cops show up, the firemen are called, SWAT team has to
Me
come
too,
up.
man. During COVID, we were playing board games. We almost killed each other.
Resonate with that if you're the same way. As a matter of fact, let me look in the Telegram group. Are there any like extremely competitive people
who's cheating
that are on the webinar tonight that are the same way as, or is it just me? Are we the only dysfunctional people? I'm not seeing anything in the Telegram group, so I guess it's just me. Okay, well, anyway, Okay, here we go. I like that too. Thank you, Gemma. Thank you for making me feel like I'm not just completely crazy. And the professor said he's mellowing out. I got to get there, man. I have to get there. But I will tell you guys, man. One of the things I do is I've always looked at business. Any company I've ever worked with, I've looked at it as a business, and I look at it as a game. And I'm only ever trying to figure out what are the rules. How do I learn those rules? How do I operate within those rules, but also master the game so that I can be as successful as possible? And, I was explaining this to someone that, they were asking me what they should do or how they should look at this. And I said, man, it's Sosana. It's Sosana the game. You know what I mean? It's just, you have to figure out, okay, where are you starting? What are some of the things that are going to pop up? What are some of the ways that you can actually set yourself back versus move yourself forward? How can you overcome challenges? All these different things, man. It's Sosana the game. And I said, listen, if you think about it this way, if you think about it as a game, you're going to think about, just how do you master it, right? Number one. And then also how you get on the same page with what Sosana as a whole is doing out. And I wanted to go through that with you guys. Again, this is not going to be a long webinar, but I think it might really help in terms of clarifying this. And I just realized something, guys. And I apologize to all the people on the call. I definitely want to record this. So give me a second, because I think that this is definitely something that we're going to want to have for playback. So let me get this recorded, and then we will be able to go. Okay, so boom.
Recording in progress.
Awesome. So once again, guys, for me, it always helps for me, just to kind of look at things, especially in business, to look at it as a game, to be able to figure out what the rules are, how we can play within those rules, but also how to master that game. Because at the end of the day, it's all about kind of going out there and, at least in my opinion, right, from being a super ultra competitive person, achieving at the highest level. Anything I do, anything I compete in, I want to win. Especially in the in the financial game. And when I look at what Sosana brings to people, I try to explain to some people I was talking to that if you just looked at this as Sosana the game, and you looked at it as where am I starting at? What are my challenges? What are some of the things that could set me back, move me forward, help me skip some spaces, et cetera, et cetera? What are some of the questions that are going to come up? All these things, you are putting yourself in position to win. So I wanted to share with everybody, whether it's those watching it live or those watching some replay, exactly how you might want to look at this. Again, this won't be long, but I do think it's a helpful way to try to understand a lot of the pieces, because we've been throwing a lot at you, and myself and Mark, we're aware of that, and I kind of don't want to do something I felt like might bring it together for the people in the community to help you guys once again be in the best possible position to be able to win. So the first thing is, how do I win the game, right? I mean, that's like any game I've ever learned. The first question I asked the person who was teaching me the game is, what is the objective? How do I win? If you tell me how I win, we can then back into how I play, right? So how do I win the game, right? And this is how you win this Sosana game. Objective one, accumulate enough wealth for you and your family to live your dream lifestyle. Now, this is only for people who want to win big. And I get that. I mean, there's some people in here right now and they're saying, hey, man, for me, Sosana is just a way for me to kind of make a few extra bucks to make ends meet or whatever. And that's fine. But I would just say to you guys, if you're in now, if you're in at the beginning, if you're in where the price is sub $1, you might want to think a little bit grander. I'm serious. You might want to be, maybe you thought that this is just one of those things where you'll make a few bucks until something goes wrong here and then you can move on to the next thing. But I'm telling you right now, guys, talking about being in the right place at the right time, you are in the right place at the right time. You just have to have the right mindset and take the right action. That's literally where we are. So how do you win the game? Your objective, accumulate enough wealth for your family to live your dream lifestyle. That's the objective of this game. Just like you play Monopoly, try to get all the properties and all the money. How do you accumulate enough wealth for you and your family to live your dream lifestyle? Now, again, that's going to be different, and we'll talk about that here at the end. That will be different for every single person that is watching this. Every single person has their own idea of what their dream lifestyle is, how they want them and their families to live. Some people more grander, some people more simpler. Depending on where you are around the world, potentially it's a lot less to achieve or a lot more to achieve. Some of these things, whatever. I can't give you that number. I can't give you that lifestyle. That is perfectly your choice. Here's a bonus though. Here's a bonus. If you want to play the game at even a higher level, here's the optional bonus. Achieve objective 1 by helping as many people as possible do the same thing. So again, employ as much leverage as you can so that by helping other people with objective 1, accumulate enough money so that them and their families can live their dream lifestyle, you are able to achieve that objective for yourself faster, more efficiently, at a higher level, and probably with a better sense of purpose, because it's not just about what you're doing for yourself now, it's about helping others as well. And you probably, if you've been on enough of these, if you're not brand new, and this isn't your very first time spending time with us, if you are, first of all, welcome to the family. I'm glad you're here. But if you're not new, you know that we're very heart-centric. We want to help people. So that's why I put that optional bonus in of helping as many other people do the same, and you can leverage that and you can win. But that's how you win the game, right? That's how you win the game. Now, the first thing you need to know, though, is if you win the game by accumulating enough wealth for the dream lifestyle, what are the ways that you can earn and accumulate here? How do you build wealth in Sosana, right? And there's 4 ways, right? Currently, there's 4 ways, right? 1, purchase and hold tokens, right? And we're going to talk about each one of these individually, so I'm not going to explain them too much right now. Purchase and hold tokens. Number 2, earn through the affiliate platform, right? That's why it was developed, right? I mean, this is cool affiliate platform that's been developed with some very cool features once you're in it. But part of it is that as an affiliate, you're going to be able to go out and refer others to the Sosana platform, and you'll be able to earn tokens. So that's pretty cool. Number 3, participate in the voting system. This is probably the number 1 reason why most people are excited about Sosana right now. As it virals out, more and more people are going to get excited about Sosana. So it's going to be a big deal, right? So participate in the voting system. You've got the active tokens votes that we're going to do every 2 weeks, right? That's that DGen voter wallet that we always talk about. But we also have pre-launch tokens. And once we start doing the pre-launch token voting, that's going to happen once a month. Remember, we've got the 1% that goes to the DGen voter wallet, 1% that goes to the stability and liquidity wallet, and then 1% that's going to go to the marketing wallet, but it's split up in 2 pieces, a half for marketing and a half for these pre-launch tokens. So 0.5% to each one of those. Guys, we'll have that pre-launch token once per month. So that's going to be another way that people can actually build wealth, and you're going to want to build a strategy around that. And then number 4, become a certified instructor. I think a lot of people aren't thinking about this one, but again, I'm going to talk about these individuals. I don't have to explain it here, but again, becoming a certified instructor is going to be a way that you can accumulate faster, if that is your goal, to push yourself towards winning the game, if you will, right? Getting to that point, again, if you choose to, getting to that point where you've built up enough wealth so that now you and your family can live your dream lifestyle. Beyond that, I'm not saying you don't have other aspirations beyond that, but once you win this game, you can actually go engage and do all the other things beyond that that you want to do. And then there's the coming soon, guys. I tell you what, we've spent time talking about in some way and some format, some of the first 4, but there's other things that are going to be coming as part of our affiliate platform that are going to be ways that you can earn money. Some very, very cool things that David Track has been working on in the lab that are extremely cool. So 5, 6, so wave 5, wave 6, wave 7, wave 8. All of these things are coming soon. Again, we've just scratched the scratch, right? We haven't even scratched the surface. We're scratching the scratch right now. But I'm telling you right now, when you see some of the other things that come along, you're going to be, I don't want to say more excited, because I know people are very excited about the DGen voting, but let me just say equally as excited, and in some cases more excited than what you already know about Sosana. So hopefully that's a nice little tease for you to keep you guys zoomed in and played in. So purchase and hold tokens, the most passive way to earn. There is not a person who buys crypto in the world today who is not buying with the same thought process, which is I'm going to buy at one price and I'm going to sell it later at a higher price. Whether later is 30 seconds later, is, 30 days later, 30 months later, or 30 years later. People have the same mentality. The reason why I'm getting in this, it's an asset. I'm putting in money right now. And my hope, my true fervent hope and desire is that at some point in time in the future, whenever that is, I'll be able to sell this token for more than what I paid for it, and I'll make a profit. Now, with that said, I would tell you that most of the people that are getting involved in crypto today, they have no idea what causes them to be able to make a profit, why prices go. They don't know. They just know that other people are doing it. I'm going to do it. I'll figure it out later. Hopefully I'm doing it at the right time with the right token. And I'm doing it and I'm going to win. But we talked about this before. What causes the price to go up? More buy pressure than sell pressure. That it's really, we're going to keep it very, very simple for this particular overview. But hey, more people buying and more buys coming in than sales, right? Ultimately, that's going to continue to escalate the price of your token. So if this is your thing, like if you're saying, hey, my number one focus right now, my strategy, if you will, for how I am going to profit from Solana is I'm going to buy as many tokens as I can, and then I'm just going to chill. I'm going to chill and I'm going to wait and I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait till I get to my number, right? When I see my number, then I can start cashing out my stuff and I can start living my lifestyle. Okay. So what's going to help you do that is more buy pressure going into the chart and into the token than sell pressure. And you guys know there's a lot of things we are doing. Some of them we might even cover. We're going to cover here tonight to create as much buy pressure as we can. But again, if that's the only way you want to be involved, that is the most passive way to do it. Go out and accumulate as many tokens as you can, and then you can just wait. I will tell you though, somebody did ask me. They said, so let's say that I'm trying to make $200,000 in Solana. Let's say that's my goal, and I get to a point when I've got the $200,000. So maybe I buy $10,000 worth of tokens. The token value right now is at 30 cents. It goes up to $6, right? So that's 20x. At that point, I would have $200,000. So I guess at that point, I just sell all my tokens. And I said, well, listen, if you want to be smart, you want to do things in a smart way where it's not going to, it doesn't have to necessarily impact the chart because you're working against yourself. So you think about it this way. If you're ever so fortunate, right? And anybody here that's in right now, you guys are so fortunate to be able to do what I just said. If you're ever so fortunate to be involved in a token where you get it at a low price and then it goes up tremendously, like 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x, 1000x, and you've got now these big numbers that you're dealing with. The goal is not to simply say one day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to see my number 200,000 or 500,000 or 1 million or 5 million or whatever your number is, and I'll just sell all my tokens right there. And at some point it's like it can just be a bank account for you, right? I mean, why would you? If you have an escalating asset, why would you liquidate your entire asset and remove yourself from the game? If you need $200,000, and I'm just using that as an example, to live your dream lifestyle, I'm sure it doesn't require you to spend the $200,000 all at once. So if your dream lifestyle, wherever you're living at around the world, is maybe going to, cost you $5,000 a month, then why would you sell $200,000 worth of tokens when you're in an escalating asset, as opposed to just selling out the $5,000 a month? I mean, me personally, if that was my number, I needed 200,000 because I want to be at $5,000 a month for X amount of months, or blah, 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 blah. Not only would I not sell $200,000 worth of tokens, I wouldn't even sell the $5,000 all at once. I'd probably sell, $500 a day or $250 a day for 20 days in a row, because that way I'm not impacting the chart at all. I'm not taking the price down and working against myself, driving my remaining asset value down. I'm simply picking up, my money that I need to get over the period of a month. And now I've got my $5,000 throughout that month, and I can live my dream lifestyle. So if that is your goal, is just to purchase and hold tokens until you get to your number, even when you get to your number, just consider, okay, now I've got this escalating asset. I've got, I'm at the number where I can start living my dream. Treat it like a bank account. Take out what you need, let the rest continue to grow. This is going to be far more, in my opinion, productive and explosive than a bank account. Again, again, you guys can do whatever you want, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of a way to think about it so you're not actually working against your own interests. So the second way, earn through the affiliate platform. Now, again, I'm not going to go through the whole affiliate platform tonight. I've done this time and time again. I will do it again in the future over and over again ad nauseum. But just understand, again, for those of you that are new, we do have a very cool affiliate platform that we're going to be launching here very soon. And part of the cool thing about that affiliate platform is you get to earn through a 3-level affiliate plan that is very lucrative. It starts off where we're paying out 50%, and it goes all the way up to 80% payout as you're escalating. So everybody starts off at what we call the unranked level. You're just brand new. You haven't done anything, haven't told anybody, haven't referred anybody, but you're going to get 20% on all your level 1 referrals, 15% on level 2, 15% on level 3. Right, that's a total of 50% of a payout. And then as you go out and refer 3, you'll be degen. You'll see that these numbers start to go up. You're getting some raises here on the levels. Once you get to the next level of hodler, then you're going to get even more raises here. You see it on your bottom level where you're going to have more people accumulating there than you probably will even on your personal level. And then once you get to the whale level, again, you're going to get more raises deeper into the team. So again, we're setting you up to be able to win. The great thing about the affiliate platform, what is it? It's that, and I've said this again, timing is everything. Timing is everything. If you want to really optimize and maximize the affiliate plan, you want to do it as fast as possible, right? While the price is as low as possible. Again, once we roll this out, you guys are going to have that 48 hours during which time people can sign up as founders, right? I would much rather sign up a founder, next week or a week or 2 weeks from now and earn 20% of their $99, right? So $20 basically. I'd much rather do that, $20 in Solana tokens. So earn it when Solana is at 30 or 35 cents, right? Then a year from now, Solana is at $5, right? So 20%, $20 at $5 would just be 4 Solana tokens versus right now where it would be 60 Solana tokens, right? I'd rather earn 60 Solana tokens right now for doing the same work and then let it ride up to where it's $5 a token. And that's now the equivalent of having earned $300, right? So you want to go out and you want to execute with the affiliate program as quickly as possible. So if that's another way that you want to engage, utilize a strategy. That's why we put out these pre-sign-up links so people could start going and structuring and building and developing so that, again, when it comes time for the 48 hours, you're not then saying, okay, I got 2 days to start talking to people and seeing if they're interested in getting them registered. You are simply going into a position now where everyone already has signed up, they've structured, they've built their teams, everything, and now they're just connecting their wallets and paying, and you are having an incredible, there'll be people that we predict will have some insane days, who will make more money in one day than a lot of people make in a year at their full-time jobs, simply because they've structured, built, and developed teams. They did not wait. If you've been waiting, guess what? You still have time. Stop waiting. Get to it right now. Start building and developing and get that big windfall of the Solana tokens at the lowest possible price. So all of those Solana tokens that you accumulate, you can now take the ride with them as they grow. The next one, participate in the voting system. Remember, anybody who holds $50 or more of Solana tokens can vote, right? Even if you don't vote, anybody who holds $50 or more of Solana tokens can find out in our degen voting system an hour before the rest of the world what token won, what the size of the degen voter bonus is, and where we're going to be purchasing that token an hour later. So that's even if you don't vote, but you have $50 or more, you can still get that information, which is what everyone is excited about, right? So participate in the voting system. That's another way for you to potentially be able to accumulate wealth, either on that, getting in front of that and using that information to position yourself to be able to take a ride as a price runs up, or B, going out there and actually just acquiring tokens and holding them, because if they've been identified, by the crowdsourced intelligence model of the team, that these are quality projects. You're not in a rush. You're like, hey, if it takes, a month or 2 months or 5 months or 6 months for this token to really grow and continue to grow and, 2x, 5x, 10x, 20x, whatever, I can wait. I can put $1,000 in right now and wait 6 months for it to turn into 20 grand, right? I can do those types of things. So again, participate in the voting system, because that's going to be strong. We told you guys a couple nights ago, I think it was, or, where we said, hey, listen, there's 3 things you want to look at when you're participating in the vote to determine how you want to proceed. One is the size of the voting wallet, right? Of the DGen voting wallet. Let's say this is our every 2 weeks with our active tokens. How big is that wallet? Obviously $100,000 will probably move the price of a token more than $5,000, right? All things remaining equal, $100,000 will guaranteed move the price of a token more than $5,000, all things remaining equal, right? Number 2, size of the community, right? How big is the community at that time? Because if the community gets bigger and bigger, right, and more people are saying, hey, I'm going to get in, at 7:01 and go buy this token so I can get in front of the big purchase that's going to happen at 8 o'clock, then guess what? The more people doing that, the more buy pressure going into these tokens that have been identified every single 2 weeks, the more your opportunity is to actually be able to go up there and earn a potential profit by positioning yourself in front of that information. And then we said, hey, the third factor is the size of the liquidity pool of the particular token, right? Honestly, obviously, if the liquidity pool is small, if we have a $100,000 liquidity pool and we're about to buy $100,000 of that token at the top of an hour, I cannot even imagine what's going to happen to the price of that token with a $100,000 purchase going into a token that only has a $100,000 liquidity pool, or even a $200,000 or $300,000 or $400,000 liquidity pool, guys. A $100,000 purchase all at once, preceded by a community all aping in on the token, between 7:01 and 7:59, guys, it's probably going to drive the price of that token to Pluto. On the other hand, if you have a $100 million liquidity pool and you're making a $100,000 purchase, well, sure, a $100,000 purchase is still a $100,000 purchase. It may move the price up a little bit, but it's not going to go to 5x or 10x or 20x. So again, you're going to look at all these things, and these can all be part of your determination factor of what your strategy is, and each individual vote. Every 2 weeks, you've got the information, you know what to evaluate, and you're saying, okay, I see how this all sets up. We've got $100,000 in the voter wallet. We've got 5,000 people in the community that are going to be all over this. We've got a liquidity pool of around $500,000 or $600,000 in the token that won. Yeah, this is going to be crazy, right? And I'm going to make sure that, because I believe this is going to be crazy, I'm going to go out and buy accordingly. That type of thing. That's what we're talking about when we say participate in the voting system. Participate, develop a strategy, and go out and exercise that strategy. That's going to allow you every 2 weeks to be able to potentially earn more and more profit for you and your family, and get closer to being able to win the game. And then the fourth one I identified was becoming a certified instructor. And I know a lot of people, they may not be thinking about this, right? So here's the thing. If you're already a crypto expert, think about how cool it is that what Solana is going to do is they're going to let you become a certified, you're going to be able to become a certified instructor. We're going to build the audience for you, and then you're going to get paid by that audience to share your valuable cryptocurrency knowledge. That's very cool, because there's a lot of people out there that have great information in their head that they could, charge for, people would find valuable, but they have no clue where to find an audience for it. Guys, we're putting together an entire audience of people who are all going to want to improve themselves, to learn more about this space. That's part of the purpose of Solana, is to stop people from responding to shiny objects because they're becoming more and more knowledgeable about what to look for, what to do, what to get involved in, what type of strategies to create, what is really the role of cryptocurrency in society, what is blockchain technology going to do, why is it revolutionizing, why is it a better financial system, all these things, right? And a lot of you understand all this stuff already, but you also understand that most people don't. So you're going to have the opportunity to go out and do that. I mean, imagine, just having, doing a few classes a week, and for a total of like maybe 100 or 150 participants in the class, and you're getting paid from every single one of them for sharing stuff that is just second nature to you, but you're spending an hour a day, 2 or 3 times a week, and that hour a day, 2 or 3 times a week is putting, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 into your pocket, guys. That could be pretty amazing. For those of you that are saying, okay, yeah, but that's for the crypto experts. I'm not a crypto expert. Hey, guess what? There's this place called Sosana where they're going to teach you how to become a crypto expert. So go through the classes, learn the stuff, master those things. Then you yourself can turn around and become a certified instructor. And you can now get paid for sharing your knowledge with the new people who don't know these things, right? Again, if you want to, you don't have to do any of these ways, right? Except maybe buy the token. I guess if you're not going to buy the token, you're not doing anything, right? But you don't have to do these other things. But if you want to accelerate your pathway and become better and better at playing the game, these are the things that you can do. Now, again, back to the game. Here's the second thing that I always learned about when I'm working within a company and I'm saying, okay, I want to master the game, is to try to understand what game is the company playing, right? Because all I ever thought about to myself was, whatever a company is or a project is or whatever, they've got it figured out. So the only thing I have to really figure out is what game are they playing, and then I can simply play my game like they're playing the game. I can kind of sync up what I'm doing with what they're doing, right? And if the company's winning, I'm winning because we're doing the same things. If that kind of makes sense. So, guys, what game is Sosana playing, right? Right now, guys, we're playing the transactional volume game. And I'll show you why here in a second, because you got to remember why Sosana was even started, and you'll start to understand what this all comes down to. But remember, anytime there's a buy, there's a sell, or even with Sosana, a transfer of the tokens, there's a 3% tax. And we've talked about that, what we're doing with that tax and how that goes back into really helping to build and develop the community. But guys, I want you to think about this. I know we do a lot of these webinars. Mark Ross loves to pull up the charts of different tokens. He's pulled up a couple of different tokens recently. So here's one. And we did this just yesterday. You guys can see this, by the way, because the crypto market went down a little bit today. So you can see, if you were with us yesterday, you would have saw that Trump token was at 625. It's at 606 today, right? So and this is a good example for anybody who just bought Trump token yesterday, right? They're like, man, I bought it at 625. It's at 606. I lost 3.8% in one day. Wow, that's not good. I didn't buy the token to lose money. I bought the token to make money, right? However, if you were in Sosana and it was the same thing, it went down 3.8%, but it did $341 million in volume in that 24 hours, you'd still be excited because you'd say, oh man, that's $3.4 million into the DGen voter wallet today, just today, right? If we can keep that going over the next 14 days, oh man, can you imagine what that DGen voter wallet is going to look like in 14 days if we're picking up $3.4 million a day, right? I don't even know that number off the top of my head. It's probably 40 million plus, right? But imagine a DGen, imagine you get to 2 weeks in and you're like, okay, this token won, and we're going to make a $40 million purchase into that token at the top of the hour. So you were telling you that at 7 o'clock, at 8 o'clock, there's going to be a $40 million purchase. I don't care at that point what the size of the community is. I don't care what the market cap of the token is. I know one thing. if you buy $40 million of any token, you are moving that price a lot, right? So at that point, when we get to those types of numbers, guys, you can have a day where you're like, man, you know what? Part of my plan is to buy the token and hold the token, but I just bought the token went down a little bit. But on the other hand, because of this other part of my plan, which is to be involved in the voting system, hey, it was an incredible day. It was an incredible day. Even though the price went down a little bit, prices will go up and down. But what's happening is the transactional volume there, guys. And if you'll notice, I also squared off this because there's a correlation. It's not always one-to-one, right? But there is a correlation between the amount of holders and the volume, right? When you have a lot of holders, you're going to have a lot of volume going through. There's always going to be people buying and selling at the exact same time. At the exact moment that somebody is saying, now's a great time to buy, someone else is saying, now's a great time to sell, right? And that's the market.
True
People are buying and selling all the time because they got different goals, different things they're trying to accomplish, different things happening in their life, different agendas. Doesn't matter. We don't care why they're doing it, just that they're doing it. So when we look at this as Solana, we're saying, hey, our focus is to do all the things possible to drive up the amount of account holders, because we know that there is a point, there is a tipping point, as Mark Ross likes to say, where we will have enough holders that the transactional volume every single day will be so huge that now every time we do a vote, we will become a market maker. We will move any token, no matter what it is, how big or how small it already is. We will move the value of that token up in a compressed period of time. And because our community knows about that, they will have the ability to put themselves in in position for potentially significant profit every single 2 weeks. So that's the game we're playing. Another example, guys, Mark pulls up Pepe all the time. You can see Pepe actually has less token holders, right, than Trump. Trump token has 600 and something thousand. Pepe is right just under 500,000. But look at the volume again, 560 million. The volume is still higher because there's more buying and selling. So it's not always going to be a one-to-one relationship. But it still is this: the more token holders, the more volume that you're going to have. That's just what it comes down to, right? As you get a lot of token holders, there is a tipping point beyond, and I don't know what that number is. I don't know if it's 50,000. First of all, we got 50,000 token holders, we're going to have a ton of volume, right? But I don't know if it's 50,000 or 100,000 that you got to get to before all of a sudden you're doing millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of volume every single day. But once we get to that point, we're just doing millions and millions and millions of volume every single day, guys. Think about what that means for the DGen voter bonus pools, right? It's going to get to a point where we're doing seven figures and multiple seven figures in purchases every 2 weeks. And we are going to be moving the needle tremendously. And you're going to know about that before everyone else on the planet. That's when more and more people are going to want to become a part of this community, which means we're driving up the amount of holders, we're driving up the amount of volume, and then it just becomes this perpetual profit machine that just becomes a runaway train. That's what we are excited about, guys, because here's our game. We want to change the game. That's what it really is about. If you remember, when Mark Ross talks about how him and Dave how they were sitting around, they were talking about what's the problem with the industry, right? Too much supply, not enough demand, people throwing all their resources, all their money into these crappy projects that are here today, gone tomorrow, because they don't know the difference between a landmine and a gold mine. And we need to change the game, and we've got the solution, right? Not only from a standpoint of educating our community so that they can look for green lights versus red flags, and they can go through crowdsourced intelligence to pick better projects, but what do you think the result will be as we get larger and larger and we became a game changer? What do you think the results will be with the guys out there and gals out there creating token projects when they start to realize that Solana is now the authority and the market maker? Imagine when token project owners start to say, if my token project wins the Solana vote, I get a moonshot, an incredible increase in the value of my token in a very short period of time. Imagine when that happens. Imagine when the word is out is that if I can win the Sosana vote, man, we can get $1 million pumped into our token in no time. Maybe in a night, maybe in an hour, right? We can get $1 million pumped into our token. We can get $5 million. We can get $25 million. But more important, we can get tons of eyeballs that are going to say, you know what? If this token won the Sosana vote, if they're able to get that badge, that says a Sosana vote winner, we get a bunch of people that say this must be a quality project. So even if they weren't in Sosana and they didn't participate in that particular vote at that time, they still want to buy our token and put it in their portfolio and hold it, because now they know that the tokens that win the Sosana vote are tokens that tend to go on and do very well. At that time, aren't we changing the game? Imagine when they're saying, if my token project simply places in the top 10, I don't even need to win the vote now. Sosana has gotten so good. Their community has gotten so good at identifying real, serious, quality projects that even the tokens that don't win, the ones who place in the top 10, people are still buying those tokens up because they know that if the Sosana community says it's hot, it's hot. And therefore, I got to figure out first how to get nominated, how to be good enough just to be nominated. And then if I can just place in the top 10, don't even need to win, I can still get a moonshot because people are going to go and buy up my project because Sosana has now identified me as a top 10 worthy project, right? Imagine when that happens, guys. And imagine when we launch the Better Token Bureau. And now, just like the Better Business Bureau, just like people go to the Better Business Bureau to check on companies and businesses to see if there's complaints or if they have a good reputation. Imagine when the Better Token Bureau from Sosana becomes the standard. And now owners are saying, if my token project is reflected well in the Better Token Bureau, I get a moonshot, because now people don't just go buy tokens anymore. The first thing they do when they see something or a friend tells them about something, says, hey, you got to go get this one, or this one's going to be cool. They go to the BTB and they see if the BTB is talking negatively about them.
BTB,
if people are saying,
man.
nope,
Gotta go
it's
to
a
the
rug
BTB,
pull. Nope,
man.
the owners aren't fully doxxed. Nope, they haven't done this. Nope, they haven't done this. Nope, it's set up to go. Or if they're saying this checks all the boxes, all green lights ahead, this project is strong. The people who developed this project, they've got an incredible track record of developing other projects. Guys, when we get to this point, here's what's going to happen. Here's how we've changed the game. People that are launching projects will be trying to figure out, how do I dot enough I's?
Bro, this coin's
going to
be $50,
to be
man.
attractive enough to be nominated for the Sosana voting process, where I can
Right now it's
either
30
win
cents.
or at least place myself in the top 10. And how do I make sure
Smarten
that
up,
I
man.
am maintaining a spotless reputation in the Better Token Bureau, so people aren't looking at that at the BTB and deciding they don't even want to get involved in my project because there's too many red flags? Right away, we're changing the game, because the tokens that aren't saying this are going to realize that they're missing out, they're being left out, and people aren't engaging with them anymore. That's the game for Sosana. Not just to master the game, but to change the game. And if you can get in alignment with us, guys, that's where you can quickly go out and accomplish the things that you're looking to accomplish. So what's the best way to play the game, guys? Let's wrap up here. Best way to play the game? Simple. Number one, we talked about that objective, right? Accumulate enough wealth for you and your family to live your dream lifestyle. Here's the primary question. What is your definition of dream lifestyle? And how much do you need to earn to live it, right? You can't, my best friend Sean says all the time, the problem is not that people are aiming for something and hitting and missing, it's that they're aiming at nothing and hitting nothing dead on every single time. You have to set your goal right up front. You have to know. If you don't know, for some people, I know you may not know. I remember what it was like to be so broke that I did not even want to try to figure out, what I needed to get out of debt. I did not even want to figure out what I needed to live my dream life or whatever, because I knew I was so far away and I had no pathway to do it that it was just painful. I just felt like it was cruel. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you're involved with us, especially right now at this time in the beginning, you are at a point right now where you can dream, where you can actually sit there and think. I don't care where you are. I don't care what your level of debt is. I don't care how big your dreams are. You can sit there and you can say to yourself, you know what? I'm this much in debt. And then for me and my family to have our dream lifestyle, for everybody to be covered, to be living where we need to live, to drive what we want to drive, to have the freedom that we want to have, it's going to cost this. Take this number. You can do that because you have a real chance of being able to accomplish that here if you're willing to go out and engage, right? So first things first, what is your target? What is your goal? What is required? If you don't know, you can't win the game because you won't know when you've won. Does that make sense? So first of all, establish that goal. Number two, build a plan for each way that you choose to participate. For every single way that you choose to participate, you need to build a plan. So if you want to purchase and hold tokens, great. What is your buying strategy? How many tokens are you trying to get? How are you looking at the chart? Are you looking for buying opportunities on a daily basis? Right? Oh, the price dip. Let me buy the dip. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do some dollar cost averaging. What is your actual strategy? How many tokens are you trying to get? Do you have a number in your head so you can say, hey, I'm trying to accumulate 50,000 tokens because I know that what I need for my dream lifestyle is $1 million. So if I get 50,000 tokens when the price is 20x, I've got my number. And now I can start putting everything together to lead that dream lifestyle, right? Build a strategy around that. If you need 50,000 tokens, how are you going to get them? Assuming you don't just have enough money to buy 50,000 tokens outright like that. What's your strategy to do that? Number two, if you're going to earn through the affiliate plan, what's your strategy around that? Are you just going to join and become an affiliate and tell a couple of people? Or are you out there right now, like a Keith Lacey, like the professor? Are you out there right now, holding presentations, holding meetings, like Mr. Live, we were on a meeting today with him and one of the most dynamic individuals that I've ever been fortunate enough to meet in my life, right? I mean, are you out there talking to people every single day, getting, sharing your link, getting them enrolled and set up so that on day one, you're going from unranked to degen to hodler to whale, potentially on day one, just because of the efforts that you put in. Are you doing that? Or are you sitting around and you're waiting, right? You're trying to figure it out while everyone else is out there getting it in, right? Build a plan around it. Number three, participate in the voting system. Guys, again, I told you, you need to figure out, hey, what's my budget? It's not just good enough to get the information. Guess what? We tell you at 7 o'clock that token XYZ won, and we're going to buy $5 million of it at 8 o'clock. That does not magically do anything for you if you just sit there and watch it happen. So if that happens, if that was the math, if you saw that there was a low market cap for that you saw that we had the community size where a bunch of people were going to ape in between 701 and 759, and you saw that this was a token that won, and there was a $100,000 purchase, a $200,000 purchase, what are you doing at that moment? What are you doing? Do you have $100 right now of Solana that you would have to then go buy that token, or $500 or $1,000? Do you know when you should use $1,000 versus $500 versus $100? Like, if you don't know these types of things, I'm saying right now is the time to figure it out. Get a plan. So when you get there at that moment, when you've looked at the variables, you know exactly what to do, because you will be rewarded for taking action faster than taking it slower. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Number four, if you want to be a certified instructor, right, that wants to be part of your plan. If you're already a crypto superstar, like I know we have, this is easy for you guys, right? To becoming a certified instructor is going to be child's play for you. But if you're not, if you're kind of, my knowledge is kind of middling, what am I going to do once we start off and I become a part of affiliate? What course am I going to take? Who am I going to go to some of these other guys to learn and master some information so that then I can turn around and become a certified instructor? And then once I do, hey, I'm currently right now, I'm not working a full-time job. So therefore, hey, I can do classes every single day. I'm going to do classes 5 times a week. I'm going to do classes twice a day, so I'll do 2 hours a day, 5 times a week. So I'll train, in the course of a week, maybe 500 to 1,000 people and get paid off of that. Like, is that part of your plan? Whatever it is, guys, however many ways you want to participate, figure out your plan for all of those ways. And then number 3, start working your plan immediately. Man, procrastination is the death of your dreams. I'm telling you, sitting around and waiting for something to happen before you get started, man, that's incredible. That's just that is death. It really is. The people who always win are the people who are out there getting busy while everyone else is waiting. Stop waiting. I want you to remember something. Think about it this way. If you've ever taught somebody how to play any game, I don't care what it is. If you ever taught a kid how to play checkers or Connect Four, or you ever taught a friend how to play chess or poker or whatever, something you probably noticed. When you're first teaching them and they're first learning, you win all the time because you know all the rules, you know all the strategies. Even if you teach them all the rules, they haven't been around long enough yet to learn the strategies, right? So you win all the time. Right now, you're in this Sosana game. No one else knows about it. You have the opportunity to master this game because you're here before everyone else. And you have the opportunity to win all the time because you're here in the beginning, learning the rules, mastering the rules before the masses show up. While they're still trying to figure out stuff, when all of them are coming in and they don't understand that it's about looking at not just the amount in the DGen voter wallet, but the amount of people in the community and what is the liquidity pool size of the token network. They don't even understand any of that. They're trying to they don't understand that they should have figured that all out for all 25 tokens, so that when they say token number 4 is the winner, you don't have to then go do research while everyone else who already figured it out for all 25 tokens, they say token number 4, they look at their notes, they got all the information for token number 4, boom, they know exactly what to do. At 7:01, they've already made their purchase while everybody else is trying to do math and calculate. They're not making a purchase until 7:37 or something, and the price has already gone up by 60%. Do you understand? Guys, the strategies, all those things, you can master them now while you're learning the rules before everybody else is even aware that the game exists, so that when the masses become aware of the game, you are going to be the one that capitalizes the most, the biggest. So guys, hopefully the game, it makes a little bit more sense to you right now. Hopefully you're starting to think to yourself, man, hey, you know what? I got to go out and I got to figure this out and how to master it. And hopefully this really does help you. So with that said, guys, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to open back up here, and I'm going to also
Recording stopped.
all right, fantastic, guys. So listen, I don't know, man, if does anybody have any questions? I'm going to open up Telegram group. Does anybody have any questions about what I just covered that you want to talk about really quickly before we go? Again, I know we've been on here about 50 minutes. Thank you, Professor. I appreciate that. But if anybody has any questions about that information, let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer it. Otherwise, we will we will adjourn. So I'll give it here about 30 seconds. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. It looks like some people did find it helpful. That's good. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Live. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great,
Professor. Yeah, you want to play me in Monopoly, man. I'm telling you, bring bodyguards and a gun, man. Seriously, I'm serious. But, all right, guys. It looks like you guys are good. So
plays for real. This guy plays for real, man.
Will be made available sometime tomorrow, and then if you want to get that out to your team, we can actually get that out to your team as well. And yes, we will get a training video for the affiliate platform. Izzy, absolutely, we're working on that right now. In fact. So with that said, guys, thanks so much. Appreciate everybody being here. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night. Mark will be back with us as always, and we'll keep it moving. We're excited, and I appreciate every single one of you guys and all of your efforts that you're putting in here.
Guys,
I promise you they will.
I'll see you tomorrow. Live trading.
Thanks so much, guys.
Live trading,
Enjoy
man.
the rest of your night or your morning, depending on where you are.
Hold on a sec. I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Live trading, 9:30 a.m. tomorrow instead of 9 o'clock. And if I can't stick around 9:30 because I got a lot of things going on this week, it'll be at 3 o'clock. All right, guys? So give me a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe if you're not subscribed, guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, man. God bless. Have a great evening on purpose. Cheers, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Let's get them pips tomorrow.